SPD Bud Talk, Real Estate Jeff.
DJ Don Mega XL, Unique Conversations.
Lavish Beatz, engineer, producer.
Got an engineer producer in the house.
Yes, sir.
Yep, young for the young cats,
You know.
old cats,
A little bit of both.
everybody. R&B, you do R&B?
I do everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Alright.
Everything. You know?
So everybody wants to know, where you from?
I'm from Elmont, Long Island. Born in Florida, but I moved to Elmont when I was 2. So I was pretty much there my whole life.
Okay.
03, yep.
And you came out doing music, like.
So growing up, my dad was a DJ. He did a little bit of parties, but he was mostly DJing in the house. So I was like probably 3, 4 listening to songs. And I remember that song "Lonely" by Akon. The way they pitched up that sample was crazy. So hearing that song as a kid made me always want to like go behind the voice you hear in the song, like the technical stuff behind it. So
Okay.
So as I got older, I just got more and more interested in it. Things like that, you know? So really my pops, him DJing at a young age made me see how the vibe of music was.
Cool. What about instruments? You play any instruments?
Instruments, I know how to do basic chords on the piano. Everything now, I pretty much, when I make my melodies, I just draw the chords in, and then I just plug everything in, go like expand out of it. But it's really, everything's by ear. YouTube was my best thing, helping me learn how to make beats and all that. I was definitely watching a lot of YouTube tutorials. I would watch someone do it, copy it the exact same way, and then once I knew the fundamentals, I would go branch out.
Oh, so you self-taught?
Yeah, everything's self-taught.
Got you.
You ever thought about furthering your education in music?
Yeah. It's funny. I'm definitely interested in it for sure. Picking up a few music classes. I'm just so busy with engineering that takes up most of my time.
Okay.
I'm not free. I'm just always in the studio, but that's definitely something I'm open to. For sure.
Okay. So what musician or artist kind of like inspired you?
Growing up, I would listen to a lot of A Boogie. When he made his first hit single, I was like 13. I remember in 7th grade. So it was like a lot of A Boogie, Young Thug, like a lot of pop music, 2010, that era, like when Rihanna dropped Diamonds and stuff like that. A lot of producers I would watch, the most was Metro Boomin and Sunny Digital, because they would make music that I would listen to all the time. So I would make beats on my phone and like be like, yo, this beat's fire. Then I'll hear their song and be like, damn, what's that song? That sound I'm missing.
Yeah.
So I know I have to go back to the drawing board and do more things. But yeah, for sure, Metro Boomin, Sunny Digital, like A Boogie, Young Thug, you know, run that shit.
What about Timbaland?
Timbaland, he's nice. I can't lie, he's nice too. I've been noticing him more a lot now recently because he's doing like song contests and TikTok lives where he's having producers come and play their beats and he'll critique it. So I paid attention to him as I got older. But growing up, I didn't really, like, I knew who he was, but I never paid attention. I just wanted to hear what I wanted to hear, if that made sense.
Got you.
Yeah.
So what about West Coast producers?
West Coast producers, that's a good question. The only West Coast producer I'm probably kind of familiar was, I forgot his name, but I know he made Niggas in Paris with Kanye. I don't even know if he's a West Coast producer, but I know he did a lot of music with artists on the West Coast like Nipsey Hussle and a couple of those guys, but that's pretty the closest I get.
But,
I'm not really familiar with West Coast though.
Nah, I'm just saying because you know, like when it come to sound, you know, I'm not, even though I'm from New York or whatever, and like I DJ myself, nothing is that surround sound unless it's coming from the West Coast. You know, like the what's that, like the THX sound? You know what I'm talking about?
And even the 808 sounds.
Yeah,
exactly
so
West Coast has that certain bounce.
yeah, like there's like different processes they use, I think. So it's like with me with production, even though I'm a DJ, like one of the best production albums that I heard, I would say would be Michael Jackson, Thriller, Dr. Dre, The Chronic. I'm just saying that stuff that if you listen to
it,
you gotta hear that sound.
And it's funny you say Thriller. I was watching a video how they did like 100 revises on the mix, and they ended up going to the first mix that they did to release a song.
Yeah, and it's a producer behind Thriller.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I can't recall his name. It's a white guy. Yeah, he's good. He was with. Tag, I might be wrong. He wrote a lot of songs for Heat Wave.
Okay.
I believe Heat Wave sang "Always and Forever." That's like before your time.
Yeah.
But that's like,
You're probably
but-
sampling that.
yeah,
Yeah, of course,
that's
for
what I'm
sure,
saying.
for
So
sure.
and also, dang, I'm just saying you're a
Nothing's new under the sun.
producer.
Yeah.
You a thing. I'm just saying just because you're a young producer,
Yeah.
you gotta get into. I just say I ain't trying to tell what you do.
No.
You gotta get into DITC, digging in the crates.
Okay.
That's like you got like the Diamond D, the Lord Finesse, Buck Wow, Showbiz and AZ, OC, and Fat Joe.
Okay.
And I said Big L, right?
No.
Yeah, Big L.
Yeah.
That's like a group that they rhyme, but they dig in the crates to find sample. But also, I'm gonna be quick. The Legion is another group. They like the extension of digging in the crates, because when it come to sampling, like New York sound, they used to sample. So they used to get up early in the morning and go to record stores and buy records and sample the record. That's just a brief. Q-Tip used to do it too from Linden, Trico Quest Queens. But it's something you gotta get into. But it's like with me as a DJ, I listen to everything, so I know how to do my mix.
Yeah.
Cause like when I DJ, people be like, "Yo, bro, you don't have no headphone?" I really don't need headphone, cause I could hear the sound like deep, like in depth, like in the ocean. I could hear everything, and that's why the system got to be clear. But I'm gonna just say one thing before I get off. Another thing, like what a producer told me. I met a producer recently, a good producer. He told me the reason why he don't like dealing with the stuff online to like get your music, whatever, how they process it. Everybody is using the same processor.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's why he was like a hardware studio.
It's always gonna.
You gotta always take. Sometimes you gotta take it from software to hardware. Yeah, convert.
So how do you feel producing at this era from when you first started? How was the?
It's funny, when it first started, it was probably really like intense trap beats, and it's like I watched when I first got into the studio I'm at now. I was the assistant there when I was 19. I watched the game like from like my era going to like the sample drill. So there was an era where everybody, like you said, was digging up old songs to see how they can put that into like a drill beat. So like and it's funny, I didn't even make drill beats until I got to the studio I'm at now, and then I saw how everybody was just sampling shit. So I was like, I gotta just hop on the wave. You know what I'm saying, if I want to sell these beats. So the sampling thing was the biggest transition I've seen.
Got you.
Sure.
Do you think the drill situation is phasing out?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely gonna phase out. You know, I feel like I was in the mix with that stuff a lot because we was doing a lot of stuff with the drill community, and like we kind of like you can kind of predict it. It was like the sample drill, and then it went to Jersey drill, and then now it's like the jerk beats, the drill. So it's like you can see the transitions. I feel like it won't die. I just feel like maybe someone has to do something more unique on it. Like I wouldn't be surprised if people really start singing their heart outs on these drill beats, and that might be a new wave, quote unquote.
Yeah, because it's like
some real vocal on a
like
hard drill beat.
like Cash Cobain.
Yeah, like he did it like quote unquote the sexy way. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of got a little spewed of that with Fabio's track with Alicia Keys, New York City.
Yeah.
How she sang that.
But Ye helped him though.
Oh yeah, exactly. The mastermind behind it.
Ye scratched it. Oh Lord, pardon.
So do you write?
Yeah, I do write. I'm a songwriter as well.
Okay.
I give a few demos out to people I'm really close with in the studio I work with. But
Got you.
there was a time nobody was rapping on my beats, so I was just doing it all on my stuff. Yeah.
So what type of songs you write?
More like R&B,
okay.
You know, soulful music.
So
I'm
you
light
think?
skinned, so I do my light skin shit.
Oh, you really like
please,
this
it'll be done.
Don't say that, yo.
Chris Brown got Chris Brown,
hating,
got Chris
baby.
Brown and R. Kelly. Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah, but R&B is the wave. That's a good barbecue music. You know what I'm saying?
I tend to like to make music. I know I have a twin sister, so I feel like if ladies like the song, then everybody will like the song.
Ladies would make the record sell.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, guys gonna follow. You know, guys gonna follow the leader, follow the trend.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, women is the trend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So I see that you just got an award.
Oh, yep, $500K for a catalog, yes sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
you know.
Appreciate it. Yeah, so how it's crazy how so I started the studio I'm working at now in 2022. I was the assistant there when I was 19. I basically left that studio later that year, 2022, and then I came back last year in March to come back as an engineer. So I always started off as a producer. I didn't even know how to engineer. I was just making beats.
What's up.
And then I was like, if I wanted to come back to the studio, I know I had to bring value to the place. So I told the guy there, Fritz, my mentor, I told him I'll learn how to engineer. He told me how to engineer. So I came to that studio with just 100K off like beat placements, beat catalogs. And from July to basically now, we ran up 400K streams just by like mixing songs and just people dropping them. And I realized like, when you really take time with a mix and like, you make that artist feel like you care about the song too. The song always comes out crazy. It's not like fast food music.
It's
you know
magic.
It's like a diamond every trip.
Yeah.
You cooked it up.
It's magic. It's magic.
I really thank those numbers to the songs I was being blessed to be able to engineer during that stretch from July to now.
That's what's up.
It was really
It's a blessing.
Yep, for real. Major blessing.
You know, more to come.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. You know. Well, who do you want to name some artists that you worked with?
A few artists I'm working with right now. 80 Blockstar. Be on the lookout for him. He's going crazy in Queens.
All right.
He's definitely on the move. I got a couple artists close to me. Brad IV. That's like my personal artist that I help manage. He's really doing his thing now. He's going to showcases and performing.
Oh, we're going to have to bring him on the show.
Yep, for sure. You know, those are the two that really cross my mind right now. I know there's a lot more, but those are the two that really, really cross my mind. Brad IV and 80. Those niggas working. You know what I'm saying?
I see it. Trust me. And I'm pretty sure the world see it as well.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People who's meant to see it gonna see it. You know?
Yeah,
that's what I like to believe. I like to go about things.
Who your favorite producer?
Favorite producer? My favorite producer back then was definitely Metro Boomin. My favorite producer now is Lavish Beatz. Not trying to be cocky.
I hear that shit.
But like back then, I looked up to Metro Boomin a lot actually. I ain't gonna lie. Like I was really trying to see what he was doing from like the music and how he was like. I would watch his videos on how he would make beats from scratch, or like even studio etiquette, vibing in the studio. Like all that was so important to me. And the biggest thing I got from him too is like he studied the game. So it's like when I knew I wanted to do music, I felt like I could be a rapper, but I felt like I would get in the door quicker if I did something behind the scenes like engineering or producing. So like he would always say that. So I'm like, I can just, do that because everybody needs an engineer or producer, whether you're a big artist or a small artist. You always need that.
That's a fact.
So I always knew that was like the route for me at least. The technical, I'll be fine.
I don't think every artist know right now to kind of like stick to a producer and kind of like build their craft and catalog.
That's
like
the best thing to do.
Like
the artist I just met, 80, he booked me out every Saturday until like July, and he doesn't want no one to record his music but me. But like we gained that chemistry from an artist to engineer, so he knows like if you really build with an artist or an engineer, like you said, and y'all make a sound together.
Exactly.
That's how a lot of people go number one.
Yep.
So like when you had, all right, I keep going back because I'm older. To me, I'm just saying what I witnessed and the world witnessed. Numbers don't lie.
Facts.
The West Coast was like one of the first people that stuck with the same producer, same artist, same engineer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They just kept the chemistry.
And that's why the numbers reflected
That's why the numbers reflected that. So then when people start noticing that, that's where you had like, the Rockefeller and you had their in-house producers. That's when people start getting mostly their in-house producers. But even you go back to Motown had in-house producers, everything.
Everything in-house.
Yeah, everything is in-house.
That's always the best way to go.
But it's a glitch that human beings deal with.
Yeah.
You could be loyal, but then they be disloyal.
Yup.
So you know what I'm saying? And money, envy, greed, the sins start coming in, and
they feel like they gotta move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People play a hate.
Yep.
They say, "Oh, Lavish always doing my songs. He's the one. He's the one." But you are the one to help them, and y'all make it too. Then you go to number one. So
a producer and an artist can never step on each other's toes.
No.
Compliment each other.
Right.
So artists that look at me and feel away, and it's like, bro, we can help each other, bro.
Facts.
They don't see that.
I can't get in your way, and you can't get in mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's like no point on feeling a certain way. Simple as that.
Yeah.
There's enough space on the earth for everyone to be up.
They don't
I always
realize.
like to say that.
Facts.
For every person to be up.
And
So-
we all got the same 24 hours.
Exactly. Save
Yup,
24
it's
hours.
what you do with it.
Word.
You could waste it or you could use it.
Exactly. That's why God gave everybody willpower. Do as you please. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
it, yo.
Yeah. Do you use the MPC?
I've really never used an MPC before. When I started, all right, I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown. When I first started making beats ever, it was this beat called Beatmaker 2 on like an iPhone 7 I had. And then the high school I went to, I got lucky. They gave everybody iPads for notebooks. I went to Elmont Memorial High School. So all the beat making stuff was already in the iPad. So I just ran with that stuff, everything digital. I'm like clicking the notes in, clicking the drum pattern. And then worked at Wendy, stayed up to get a MacBook. Once I got that MacBook, it was over. I was able to download Logic Pro because I grew up on GarageBand.
Okay.
So I got Logic Pro X because it's the same thing, it's just upgraded.
Yeah.
So everything was the same to me on Logic. So I just really make everything on Logic, everything digital. Even mixing, I use Pro Tools, everything is digital. You know what I'm saying? I got my vocal bus with the plugins and my regular things, unplug in and XYZ, everything digital. I have an analog, obviously, with like, you know, like kind of similar to what's here. We still have like a couple, every studio needs a couple hardware
Right.
stuff, you know, but mostly all the mixing is on the digital.
But all right. Say if you had I'm just saying, you know they got that school full sale, right? Can you go in there and perform with the big 48 track board?
For the MPC?
No, just if
nope.
somebody took you to the studio.
Nope. I mean, I'll have to know what is what. Like, say for example, there's a board and that's the EQ. I'm gonna know what hertz is what for the EQ, like 6K to 10K is hi-hats, that's a sharp. I'm gonna know to go there. But I have to know where that is on the board, if that makes sense. But if I know where the hertz are, I'll know what knob to move. Like, if
No,
the bass is
I'm
too
not.
much, you know.
No, I just want to expand your learning.
Yeah.
That's all.
If that opportunity comes, I'll definitely do it for sure. Just on my music journey, I just never encountered that.
You didn't encounter it yet, but you know, I see a bright future for you. So if they be like they're gonna fly y'all out,
oh yeah, I know that.
you know, don't get nervous. Go in there and be honest with them, and if you gotta eat, sleep there.
Yeah, to learn it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's literally what I have to do.
The sacrifice. You know, you gotta sacrifice. Cause you sacrifice, you know, you get it. Yeah, you gain something. But what I was gonna say. If it was a label you had to sign to be the in-house producer, what label would that be?
See, I don't even know. It would just, I honestly don't care what the label it would be. I just, as long as the opportunity's right.
Yeah,
and like
but
okay, Atlantic. I only say Atlantic because A Boogie's my favorite rapper, and he signed to that label.
Okay, so you want to be
let's do it.
A Boogie in-house
producer or engineer.
Yeah,
and it's like some days I wake up, I don't know if I like engineering more or producing more.
It's the
know,
same.
so,
I know. Listen,
You know what I mean?
listen. I'm similar to that.
Yeah.
But I just prefer DJing. I just
Yeah.
didn't have the patience. Like I bought the MPCs and all of that.
Yeah.
But I always like tell other people to use it because I don't have the patience for it.
Yeah.
But overall, mixing with the equipment, DJ equipment, I can do that very well. Yeah, that's my forte. I stay in my lane.
Yeah, some days, I don't know. Like I could be mixing a song and then another producer's in the room and I see the artist going in on the producer trying to get it right. I'm like, thank God I'm not doing that shit right now. I'm doing my thing or vice versa. So it's really dependent on the day and the mood.
I was gonna say, as an engineer, have you dealt with like any artists that try to come in there and treat you like?
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Like I have like
beneath them and
like whenever I'm doing the sessions and there's a whole bunch of YNs, like the studio I'm in, the room where I do my thing, you can't smoke in there, but you can smoke in the next room. So people that don't know that, they try to smoke there. You tell them you can't smoke. Why?
There's a law where you don't really supposed to smoke indoors.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like, definitely though, like there's definitely been cases I've had where I'm in a session and the artist definitely tried to like belittle me, but like do the business. You just gotta turn a side eye to it. I can't stoop down to their level.
Right.
I just let them do their thing, and if it's that deep, I'll just show my power by not letting you book again.
That's
me.
it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say get out right now because if you attack someone's ego, then everybody get in their feelings. Once you leave, you just can't come back. That's usually how I handle those situations. You won't be able to tell if someone's bothering me in a session. At first,
it's business. You're dealing with business.
That's what I had to learn. It's business.
Business.
Not have your emotions in it at all.
Facts.
Business. And then if they want to sound, you know what it is with people? They famous before they rich.
Exactly.
You come in here like you sold 100 million copies, and you sold 100 pieces of paper, and you approaching me and you don't got paper to pay me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So They gotta humble themselves. When you humble yourself, you go further.
Go so far.
Yeah, you don't gotta be the best,
Yeah.
but as long as you work along with people, people will work with you.
You play your role too.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
yeah. Is there any speakers you like? Any equipment that had the better sound when you go in the studio? Like you look for
honestly,
certain equipment?
It's funny, like when I go in studio speakers, all the monitors sound the same to me. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just not thinking that deep of it, but like they all sound the same. I don't notice if a studio doesn't have a sub bass or not, because you know what I'm saying, just to hear the extra bass. But like I honestly feel like it's all the same to me.
So
Honestly.
there's no studio that you went in there and you walked out and said, "Damn,
No,
that shit sound crazy."
Not really. It's like every studio I walk in sounds crazy to me.
No. I'm just
Maybe
kicking
I
it.
haven't
No,
met that
no,
studio
I'm
yet.
kicking it with you. We
Uh-huh.
kicking it on some hood shit right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
Is there a car you been in that the system sound crazy? Factory. You a producer.
My cousin has an AMG. I like the way my
Okay.
beats sound in the AMG. Maybe
So
it's
that's-
just a placebo effect because it's
No,
an AMG, but I
no.
like the way it sounds.
Now,
Mhm.
you gotta find the AMG sound studio.
Actually, you're right. I can't lie. I went to the partner studio, the bigger location we have at the studio I work with on Jamaica Ave, and those speakers were crazy. I don't know the name of him, but those.
But
speakers
you
were
got
crazy.
it. You got
He
listen.
had the party speakers on the back of the wall, so you
I know
could
you're
hear
talking
how-
about-
You know what I'm saying? I was like, wow.
But you gotta realize this. You you a sound man. You the master of a sound, like a master chef. So when you step in certain places, you gotta make sure that kitchen, that studio catered to you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
For sure.
I'm just saying,
For
even
sure.
if you home,
That's true.
if you got one subwoofer, get another one.
Facts.
You got a MIG, get another MIG. Get a horn, get another horn.
That's true.
And you gotta, you know what I'm saying?
That's true.
You want to be in the
true.
room doing this.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly. That's what I
saying?
need.
Like, and then when you go outside, you're gonna make sure everything got that. That's how I listen to music. In my house, you go to my crib, sound banging, crisp.
Fire.
My grandson, 2 years old, he can't come in the room, but he be outside. So, and you want the neighbors to say, or the people that hear it, they gonna say, "Yo, that joint was clear."
Clear, yeah. It sounds good, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
So I'm just saying, when
That's
you
true.
walk
That's some
in,
sauce right there.
make sure it catered to you. You walk in, you the man.
Yeah.
Like, listen, bro, I need that thump. I need that hi hat. I need to hear it on the back of my neck. I want to be in my sleep. I want to.
True.
You want the. I'm just saying, me with sound. You want the sound so good, your car gotta sound like that.
Facts. I know what you mean.
That's how you want it. It don't gotta be loud.
Yeah, yeah.
You just want that clarity.
Clear sound, yeah.
Yeah, cause like to me coming up, the car that had the clearest factory system at the time was Lexus.
Texas.
Nobody had a clearer sound system. Like in the '90s, factory was Lexus. You know what I'm saying? Like you had the Benz, Beamer. You get in the Lex, you be like, what the? And it was like a Nakamichi,
Wow.
crisp and clear. Now they got like Steve Livingston, but I'm just saying, certain you want that.
Yeah.
That crisp.
I go by the name Lavish Beatz, and you're listening to the beat called Trench Love Story.
Damn, Lavish, you did it again.
Sound like a Detroit beat.
Yep. I was gonna go for sure that one.
That's what you was trying to do. See, I got an ear for sound, right?
Yep, you do.
That's your Metro Boomin, the scratching.
Not on the master board. You can do it on Logic.
I
Have
know.
Like a little, you know what I'm saying?
But like Metro
yeah,
Boomin.
Yeah. Facts.
You know they use somebody whole beat on one of the songs.
Oh, really?
They use it. Is it art? I probably use it on my phone.
Yeah, say that.
trying to think what song. Let's go. Let's go. I can find it.
Fire, fire. Play that other track. Fire, fire.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Next one's kind of more of an R&B vibe. It's called Can You See?
Something for the ladies.
Yeah, something for the ladies, you know.
Need to see clear.
Sometimes you can cry too, you know.
Alright.
Got my vocal sample from Arcade.
Got you, got you. I like Arcade.
Yeah,
Using Arcade.
That's my shit, bro.
Arcade got a lot of sound.
That's my main VST to make melodies. If I don't feel like thinking too hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Got you. Woo. Fire.
Yes, sir.
I can hear a lot of people freestyling out there.
I can hear a woman rhyming on it.
That'll be fine.
I like all that vocal samples.
Yes, sir. Had to bring out the emotion on that one.
Yeah, that's what I said. I can hear a female rapping on that.
Alright.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Let them know where they could, cop your
If you want
beats.
to cop my beats, I'm on BeatStars, Lavish Beatz 02. That's Lavish Beatz 02. And if you want to follow me on the gram, I'm lavish.junior, lavish.junior.
Alright.
Sir.
SPD Bud Talk. DJ Don Mega. Thanks for coming
Of
in.
course, my guy. Appreciate the opportunity. Yes, sir.
Yeah, bro.
Lavish
Thank you,
Beats.
thank you.
Beats is crazy.
Appreciate
Lavish
it.
Beats.
Appreciate it. Lavish Beats. Yes, sir.